Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we're gonna talk about why your wash and go sis just ain't popping. We gonna get into it, and I got 5 tips I'm gonna share with you guys. So cue the intro. But first things first, if you are new here,
first off, welcome.
All my old time subbies, my congregation, the Rain Gang, Happy Girl Gang, welcome back for another video. So a long time ago, your girl only did twist outs, roller sets. Yeah, pretty much that was all I did because I could not master a wash and go. So over the years, I have learned how to master a wash and go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. First things first about me. So I am a low porosity. So that just pretty much means that my cuticle, my hair cuticle is pretty much like shut, is bound. Sometimes it can be hard to penetrate my strands just because the cuticle lays so flat, okay? So that is the very first thing, y'all. The first tip that I think almost every YouTuber, natural hair YouTuber that knows what they're talking about will tell you that you need to know your hair porosity. So many people are stuck on hair types. That don't matter, but hair porosity will show you and tell you more on how to care for your hair because you're learning how your hair kind of deals with moisture. And as naturalistas, okay, we need to know how our hair is retaining moisture. The same way you may need to know how your body is retaining salt to kind of help with, losing weight or whatever. It's certain things you just need to know in order to get results, okay? So number one tip is finding your hair porosity. That's why I stated that I do have low porosity hair. So I'm using the Texture ID Styling Cream, one of my favorites. So for years, I did not know my hair porosity and I was so stuck on hair typing. And I feel like that really hindered my wash and go process of really getting my hair to cooperate, okay? I was shocking my hair thinking that I needed to seal that cuticle before I did any styling. No, sis, no. So let's go ahead and get into tip number 2. So are you subscribed yet? I'm just asking a question, We gotta ask these things. Amen. Tip number 2, all right? I'm gonna be breaking out my Wetline Extreme, but there is a reason why I'm breaking out my Wetline Extreme gel. Now, y'all know I usually stick to these 2 gels, the Eco Styler and the Wetline Extreme gel. When you're trying to get your wash and go to pop, sis, you gotta know your texture. I have a lot of different textures. Some of my textures are more frizz prone. So for me, Raina, I am going to be using a gel that I know will combat that frizz, which for me is the Wetline Extreme gel. Hands down, it's just everything. So I'm gonna use a stronger gel. I'm not gonna use a gel that is trifling, meaning I'm not gonna use a gel that has a light hold, you know what I'm saying? Like it's don't really have my back. I need a gel that's gonna have my back. I do get more frizz back here because it is brushing all the time on my clothes, which usually are cotton. I'm not walking around with a silk scarf every day, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to get the type of gel, or if maybe in your case it might be creams, I know for a fact has frizz fighting properties. Just, you have to really listen to your hair, and certain parts are just more trifling, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta work with it if you really want to combat that frizz. So what I have preached, I think, religiously has been, not only do you want to have a good technique when you're doing your wash and go, meaning are you raking? I like to rake and smooth and on. Some people like to shingle. Some people like to, do other things to get their wash and go to pop, But one thing that's very important for me is getting my roots. Y'all see, go back to my old videos. I be saying it in like every video. Just like you would press your hair, okay, flat iron, you're not gonna start your flat iron right here, sis, okay? And all this be, a different texture from this. I would hope you wouldn't. So with the same thing, you remember how your stylist would get super close to, your scalp and your root so that you can have that movement so everything matches? you got to do the same thing with your wash and go. Do not neglect your roots. Getting your roots really, really helps. And I know a lot of us tend to have issues with poofy roots and stuff. Getting some type of product on your roots, it really helps with movement. So after my hair dries, I'll be able to move it a lot more. It's not gonna be stiff. Another tip that y'all see me do a whole lot. Okay, hold on. Now listen. Don't miss this, okay?
No, listen, Linda. Listen.
Okay.
So this part of my hair is really frizz prone, okay? And that could be for a number of reasons. So I either just kind of deal with it, or if I really just don't want frizz, I just find ways to combat it. And that can be switching up my styler, using a styler that I know is gonna work. So also, you definitely want to section like crazy. If you are having problems, sis, with your wash and go, you want to subsection like crazy. Sometimes your sections may not be enough. What always helped me over the years is thinking about those days where I used to press my hair. I didn't press my hair and flatten my hair in huge sections. Why? Because it's not going to be, my hair just not going to come out. It's not going to be effective. I may miss some areas. So think about it that when you're doing your wash and go. Get closer to the top of my hair, I subsection more than I do in the back. This isn't a lot of hair right here. But for me, if I'm going for a particular look, I will go ahead and section that. Again, when you section your hair, you kind of see, oh wow, like this whole section really doesn't have any product on it. So then I'm gonna go ahead and get my roots, because up top, I don't know just yet how I want my part. And so you don't have to like part your hair before you start. You really don't have to, is my opinion. If you get your roots, you can kind of play with it, kind of see what you want to do as you're styling your hair. I think I'm gonna go for a side part. There's a whole science behind frizz. So if you're just really like particular about your frizz and nothing that you're doing is working, you may just have frizzy hair. Like I just have really frizz prone areas, and I can, you know, moisturize, you know, my life away. I can deep condition my life away, all that. But I deal with frizz, and it's kind of inevitable when you do have natural hair. It happens, you know what I mean? There are different ways that you can combat your frizz. In the majority of my videos for wash and goes, I am always using a smoothing tool, which is the dimming brush. This helps tremendously for my hair texture in laying down and making sure that it's nice and smooth. This kind of helps the gel go on there and really help to smooth it out, where I get my shine, I get my definition, and I also use this to obtain a thicker and fuller looking wash and go, which I have a video on as well, how you can kind of fake your little full wash and go, you know what I'm saying? There's ways around it. You gotta watch that video, sis. Okay, but the dimming brush is my friend. Now, some people don't like it. I'm not some people. Hey, mom.
Amen.
Now, although your hands are blessed and touched and highly favored, hey, mom, you may need a tool to help you with your wash and go, sis. You know, raking and smoothing is all fine and dandy for me, but I've learned over the years that the dimming brush just really helps to really create the look that I'm going for, which is a lot of definition, a lot of shine, a lot of control. I like control in the beginning because it allows me to have a 7 to 10 day wash and go if I really, really wanted to. What are my tips? Getting yourself a dimming brush or a tool that's going to help with definition, going to help to clump your curls together if that's the look that you're going for. This not only helps with smoothing, but it also does help with creating that curl when you may not have that curl. So yeah, adding a tool just besides your fingers, your hands, your palms, whatever, it may be very helpful. So just kind of, you know, think about it, sis, think about it.
Okay.
This side of my hair is much more trifling than this side of my hair. This side of my hair doesn't get as dry, but it experiences a lot more frizz than the other side of my hair. Crazy, right? So for me, please hear me when I say this, okay? For me, I am going to skip the styling cream that I use all on this side.
Now, let me tell you something.
Instead, I I'm gonna take a spray that's more watery-like and not so creamy. Got stuff on the bottle, so don't mind that, but this is the Pro Vitamin Leave-In Conditioner by Afrogy. Y'all know I love me some Afrogy. Okay. I chose more of a watery leave-in because I don't really need a heavy cream, because I'm trying to get the most definition on this side to kind of prevent the frizz. Or to get your wash and go to pop, sometimes you gotta do some steps that are kind of not really typical. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna still go ahead and use my Wetline Extreme. This texture is a little bit different from this texture. I don't really care to use, you know, super creamy leave-ins on this side. So y'all, my camera cut out, so I don't know exactly where I left off, but let me just say this real quick. Okay. So I don't use the creamy on this side. I just use the Pro Vitamin, like a spray leave-in. And I just noticed that my hair just tends to act better on this side of my hair. And I still stick to the Wetline Extreme Gel, not really switching up my technique. I just changed my leave-in to kind of accommodate how I want my hair to look, or to accommodate my frizz. I just switched up my leave-in because leave-ins tend to kind of affect my hair depending on what it is. If it's too creamy, too many oils, then the styler doesn't really act right. So this side of my hair, y'all, hear me. So this side of my hair, you guys, is much looser than this side of my hair. So what I do, now it might be a little bit too much for y'all, but I'm just sharing my tips and tricks. I go ahead and switch to a gel that is very similar to the styler that I'm using overall, but because this is looser, I don't want such a heavy gel to weigh down this side of my hair. So I simply just break this, you know, not a big deal for me, okay? You don't have to do this. This is just what works for me. I go ahead and just take my Eco instead. The properties in the Eco just works better. The ingredients on this side of my hair just works better. Like I said, my hair is trifling. Like, y'all don't really believe me. So if I really want like a pop-in wash and go, I will do that. I will break out a different gel. Sometimes I will use a different gel only for the back and then different gel for the top. You may need a stronger gel up top to kind of control and combat your frizz. Different ways and different tips and tricks that you can do to get your wash and go to pop. It may mean different steps, different products. It's up to you. It's just your preference, okay? You do what works for you. I'm not judging. So before I come back with the final look, let me just say, I do not do this every wash and go. Why? Because I have perfected my technique. I know what works because I've been doing wash and goes for 10+ years on my hair. If you decide to use all 5, 6, however tips I named at one wash and go setting, then that's up to you. If only one tip works, then that's what it is. But I just wanted to put that out there because I know somebody gonna say something. I do not do this on every wash and go, okay? These are just tips and tricks that we're putting all into one video. You ain't gotta use it at every wash and go setting. So yeah, there are tips and tricks in the book, y'all, that will help you with your wash and go. Wash and go season is gonna be coming up pretty soon as we enter into the summer months, the hotter months. You know, Cali don't have no seasons, but you know, I'm trying to be, you know, thoughtful of everybody, mindful. So I hope these tips and tricks helped you a little bit. But I kind of wanted to kind of update my tips. So I do have older tips and tricks on how to perfect your wash and go and so forth that I posted a couple years ago. But I wanted to update my tips, my tricks, to kind of be of assistance and help, hopefully, at least one thing helped you.
Barely.
Understand that your curls are gonna be your curls, okay? Don't try to compare your curls to the next YouTubers or your friends, your sisters, whatever. Beautiful, they're amazing, they're bomb, sis. Don't let nobody, or don't even let yourself discourage yourself. And in trying to get your curls to look like someone else's, they're gonna look like your curls. I just want to put that out there. I felt that on my spirit to just have to encourage somebody on today that, you know, your hair is your hair and it's beautiful. Don't compare. Just don't do it, sis, okay?
Okay. That blessed me.
That's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video. Love y'all.